Welcome to your Barbados Today evening news update for Friday, February 1. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. 72 hours of prayer and reflection got underway today in response to the crime and violence plaguing the country. The Ministry of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs led off the worship session at its Warrens headquarters under the theme Pause for a Cause. The initiative also saw people around the country, including those in workplaces, churches and schools, pausing for a minute at midday in prayerful silence. With the country recording 9 murders so far this year, Minister Cynthia Ford revealed that she personally knew 3 of the young men who lost their lives, and she appealed to those involved in criminal activity to lay down the arms and pick up the word of God.
I ask the youth and the other wicked ones among us, men and women as well, to lay down the arms. Pick up the word of God and speak it in volumes wherever you go. Nobody can stop you when you go into court, because that is what the court is for. I understand, because I don't know, and I thank God I don't, because Brother Patrick, I'm older than you. But I'm glad that I've never had to go in there and hold up a book and say, I swear to, surely help me, you love you for this and so, you know. I swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. But that is where we should be saying it, speaking it, reinforcing it on the blocks.
She also appealed to Barbadians to go back into the communities where they grew up and to give back.
Too many of us have raped our villages because of our abilities, our upward social mobility as well. And we do not peek back to the village from whence we have come. And we see great nephews and nieces and distant relatives fall into that abyss of crime and violence. And sometimes we are so afraid to even let down the car window, as though the car windows and the cars are bulletproof anyhow, to say to them, stop now. I do it every day. Within the last week, less than a week, I have lost 3 young men. I worked with them the best of my ability. Some were in the Cub Scouts, so you know they had a foundation. But the negativity and the get rich or die mentality has taken them away from us.
The weekend of prayer will end on Sunday. Management at the Samuel Jackman Prescott Institute of Technology comes out in strong defense of the quality of education offered at the Pine Institution. Addressing the launch of an exhibition as part of the school's 50th anniversary celebrations today, Chairman of the Board of Management, Shelton Perkins, expressed concern that there were still some critics who were making judgments from a position of ignorance about the school. He made it clear that the school's reputation and curricula has been improving over the years. At the same time, Principal Ian Drakes gave some insights into the advancements taking place at the institution.
And the future looks bright. It's exciting. We are transforming and we are modernizing our labs to meet the requisite industry demands in, say, CNC, in terms of moving that from just the ordinary computer numeric control to 3D printing, which is one of the biggest buzzes that's happening across the world. And therefore, we are getting ready to arm our requisite students, our learners, the citizens of Barbados and beyond in these programs.
A 60-year-old woman was reportedly abducted from her home last night by an assailant. According to police, Radha Rabilal was taken from a house in Fort George Heights, St. Michael, and placed in the trunk of a car by a masked man dressed in dark clothing and carrying a gun. Around 9 p.m., she was seen at Pine East-West Boulevard, where she reported the matter to the police. Rabilal told lawmen that the culprit requested an ATM card and PIN number, and a sum of money was taken from her account. Police are probing the incident. In sports, West Indies today drove home their advantage on a compelling second day of the second test against England at the Vivian Richards Cricket Ground in Antigua. Confronted with a two-pace and unpredictable surface, the Windies batsmen display rare discipline in an admirable all-day batting effort to finish on 272 for 6. That's in reply to England's 187 on Thursday's opening day. The test continues tomorrow.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To our regional neighbors now, Guyana's main opposition People's Progressive Party tells President David Granger to name the date for fresh regional and general elections. The call came on the heels of Thursday's High Court ruling that the December 21 motion of no confidence against Granger's administration was valid. However, the 3.5-year-old government says it intends to challenge the ruling of Acting Chief Justice Roxanne George Wiltshire. More in this report from Capital News.
Attorney General Basil Williams said the government will appeal the Chief Justice's ruling. Williams said this was just another day in the life of the court.
We feel very strong about our case, and just as happened in Cedric Richardson, where we went on appeal to the Court of Appeal, and then from the Court of Appeal to the CCJ where we won it, and stopped Jacques Diop from saying that he could have a third term, we're going all the way again. All right? So that's what I want to say, and there's no need to weep and gnash teeth. Our courts are a hierarchical system. Our final court is the CCJ. So, like in the GCOM chair, when Nandalal lost, that they appealed to the Court of Appeal. So it's all part of the process. So nothing is over until the CCJ makes the final determination.
Former Attorney General Anil Nandalal said he was happy with the ruling and was not surprised.
I am very happy that the court has ruled. I am not surprised by the ruling.
And finally, the U.S. says it is suspending its participation in the important Cold War era disarmament agreement as of February 2nd. We get the details of that story from Reuters Television.
It's one of the last holdovers of the Cold War standoff between the U.S. and Russia. The treaty barring the two sides from having nuclear missiles that can reach targets in Europe on short notice. But now, the Reagan-era Intermediate-Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, known as the INF, is hanging by a thread. On Friday, the Trump administration formally notified Russia it plans to withdraw from the INF treaty over what it says are Moscow's flagrant violations of its terms. That word delivered by Secretary of State Mike Pompeo.
Russia has jeopardized the United States' security interest, and we can no longer be restricted by the treaty while Russia shamelessly violates it. If Russia does not return to full and verifiable compliance with the treaty within this 6-month period, by verifiably destroying its INF-violating missiles, their launchers, and associated equipment, the treaty will terminate.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.pb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. To have a good weekend.